was in love with two people at the same time. My name is Alex. I was married to Emily, the love of my life. We had been together for 5 years, and everything seemed perfect. Our life was simple. We were happy. I worked as an account manager at a company, and Emily was a teacher. We had a cozy apartment, and every night, we shared dinner and talked about our day. There were no secrets, no worries, just pure love. But sometimes, life throws things at you that you never expect. It all started one normal afternoon at work. I was sitting at my desk going over my numbers when I saw her for the first time. Her name was Lily. She was the new assistant, hired to help with the extra work in our department. The moment our eyes met, something inside me shifted. I didn't know it then, but I was about to fall into a whirlwind of emotions I couldn't control. She was beautiful, not just in an obvious way, but there was something about her that made everything around her disappear. It was the way she smiled when she spoke, the way her voice was soft but calming. First I tried to ignore it. I told myself I was just caught up in the excitement of a new colleague. But then one day during lunch, I found myself standing by the coffee machine when Lily walked up. She smiled and asked, "Would you mind getting me a coffee too, Alex?" Her voice was warm, but there was something else in it. An invitation. A connection that was there even before we spoke. "Of course," I replied, trying to act casual, even though my heart was starting to race. I loved Emily, didn't I? This wasn't supposed to happen. Couldn't. But it did. We sat outside in the small garden near the office, a quiet corner surrounded by flowers, just a few steps from the busy work world. We talked at first about work, but then about everything else. Our conversations flowed easily, about childhood memories, favorite books, music, dreams, and fears. With every word, I found myself feeling more and more connected to Lily. She seemed to understand me in a way that even Emily, the love of my life, never had. She saw the real me, the parts one kept hidden from everyone, even from myself. As days went by, I found myself seeking her company more and more. We texted constantly, nothing big, just small talk at first. But soon, those texts became something deeper. I told her things I'd never told Emily. Little things. Things about how I felt at work, how my day had gone, how I'd been feeling for the past few months. It was strange, this connection. It felt like I was stepping into a new world, a new possibility, but every step felt like a betrayal. I loved Emily. I loved her deeply. I loved everything about her. The way she cared for me. The way she laughed at the silly jokes I told. The way she made our house feel like home. But with Lily there was a pull. Something magnetic. Something so new that it scared me. Kept the secret. I told myself it was just a short crush. But deep down, I knew it was something more. Then one rainy evening, it happened. Lily and I had worked late, and we decided to walk to the subway together. The rain came down hard, but neither of us cared. The world felt like it was moving in slow motion, just for this one moment. The streetlights reflected off the wet pavement, creating a soft glow in the darkness. I looked at her, and I couldn't help myself. "Lily," I said softly, almost unsure of the words that were about to come out. She turned toward me, her eyes wide, searching mine. "Yeah. I think I'm falling for you," I confessed. my voice shaking with the weight of my own truth. The words hung between us, fragile, unsure. For a moment there was nothing. Just the sound of the rain, the distant hum of cars. Lily's eyes searched mine, and for a heartbeat, I feared I had made a terrible mistake. But then she stepped closer, her warmth surrounding me. Her hand touched my chest, right over my heart. "I think I've been falling for you too, Alex," she whispered. And in that moment, I realized something I hadn't been able to admit before. I was in love with both of them. Emily, my wife, the woman I had promised my life to, and Lily, the woman who had suddenly, unexpectedly, taken root in my heart. It was too much. The weight of it crushed me. For days I lived in a fog. The lines between what was real and what was fantasy blurred. Emily, the woman I had loved so completely, had no idea what was happening. She had no idea that her husband, her perfect, reliable, loving husband, was falling for someone else. And Lily, she didn't know either. She thought I was hers, and in many ways I had let her think that. But every time I looked at her, I felt guilty. She deserved more than this. She deserved the truth. Then, one morning, everything fell apart. I had left my phone on the kitchen table while I made breakfast. Emily had woken up early, something she didn't usually do. I didn't notice her glance at the screen, didn't notice her fingers shaking as she scrolled through my messages. I didn't notice anything until I heard her crying. The sound of her breaking was the sound of everything I had built, everything I had taken for granted, falling apart. "Who is she, Alex?" Her voice was barely a whisper, but it shattered me. She was holding my phone, her hands trembling. "Who is she? And why are you telling her things? You've never told me." Froze. My entire world spun out of control. "Emily, I didn't know what to say. I love you. Do. But I also don't." Emily cut me off. She looked at me with eyes full of disbelief, hurt, and something else, anger. "How could you do this to me, Alex? How could you love someone else?" Tears filled my eyes. "I didn't plan this," I begged. "I didn't want this to happen, but it did. I love you both." Her face twisted in pain, her voice barely audible. "I can't believe this," she whispered. "I can't believe you want both of us." In the days that followed, Emily shut me out. She stopped speaking to me, stopped looking at me. I turned to Lily, desperate for some comfort. But even she seemed unsure. "Alex," she said, her voice trembling. "I don't know what to do anymore. I never wanted this. I never wanted to hurt anyone. And yet I had hurt them both." Then came the ultimatum. Emily demanded that I prove my love to her. She asked me to transfer the ownership of our house into her name. She wanted me to make a clear choice, to show her that I had chosen her, and only her. In my blind love, I agreed. I thought that by doing this, everything would go back to normal, that Emily would forgive me, and we could go on like before. But when the day of the wedding arrived, Emily wasn't there. The house was empty. The ring was gone. My heart sank as I realized that the woman I thought I had saved had already moved on. I searched for her. I called her, went to her parents' house, did everything I could to find her. And then, I discovered the truth. Emily had been seeing someone else. She had planned to leave me all along, taking everything with her. The house, my heart, my trust. I was left alone, broken, lost. Days passed, and I tried to call Lily, but she too had started pulling away. She told me she wasn't sure about us anymore, that the foundation we had built had cracked, that she couldn't be with someone who had so much unresolved pain. I went back to Emily, desperate for some form of closure. Please, I begged. I made a mistake. Love you. I want to make it right. But Emily wasn't the woman I had married. The woman I had loved was gone. It's too late, Alex, she said coldly. You made your choice and now I'm making mine. You've lost me. She filed for divorce. And just like that, I lost everything. I sit here alone. I thought I could love two people. I thought that if I could hold on to both, I could have everything. But in trying to have everything, I lost it all. Emily is gone. Lily is gone. And I don't know how to move forward, how to heal. But maybe that's the lesson I needed to learn. You can't have everything. And sometimes, when you try to take too much, you end up with nothing.